Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We have Dawn and Jack Celapino on the call today. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely. So you and I were able to talk offline, but for those that don't know anything about you, tell me a little bit about yourself.
My name is Dawn Celapino, and this is my business partner, Jack. And we live in San Diego, California. And Jack inspired me when I got him to start a business called Leash Your Fitness. And our whole business is about fitness with your dog. So everything that we do in our business, the dogs are welcome and they come. So we do everything from boot camp classes to dog yoga, kayaking, paddleboarding, hiking, camping, traveling. Our whole mission is to get people out and about and with their dogs.
Which is awesome. And you and I connected in the Facebook group, The Training Room.
Yes.
And I was telling you earlier, I've been in this industry for over 20 years, and it's very rare that I see something new, refreshing. And you kind of checked all those boxes, as having a cause, doing something new, and being seemingly successful at it. How did you start your journey with this?
Well, when I got Jack, my whole life changed, and he'll be 12 in February. But when I got him, I was actually going to school to get my degree in kinesiology. And I actually had another business. I was doing corporate fitness and personal training. But I loved this guy so much that I didn't want to leave him at home when I worked out. So I started taking him with me everywhere I went. And one by one, my corporate fitness accounts was like, sorry, you can't bring your dog. So one by one, I quit them all. And I took all my training clients outside so they could also bring their dogs and I could have Jack. And I got my degree in kinesiology, and then my clients loved it so much, including their dogs and their workouts, that I knew I was onto something. And they were getting results, and Jack and I were having so much fun. So I started my business in 2009.
And did it start off with, which is a great story, but did it start off with like one service and then branch out based on the needs you were seeing with people or things that you were just doing?
Yeah, I kind of thought the whole thing up. So it was totally trial and error throughout the whole business. And so we started out with one boot camp class. And like I said, I had so many other things going on at that time in my life that I really didn't have time for anymore. And plus I really didn't know what I was doing. Everybody looked at me like I had three heads when I asked if I could have my classes in their facility. They were like, what are you talking about? And I finally found someone that would let me try, have them. And he actually let me have them for free because we didn't even know if it was going to take off or not. So, it was totally trial and error. And we started with one class. And then how the business progressed is I wanted to do stuff and my classes were on Sundays. So if I wanted to go hiking, I felt like, okay, well, I'll just take everybody with me. So I would plan a hike and just invite everybody. And then that would turn into group hikes. And then the kayaking started. And the same thing with camping. I used to camp all the time. And then since my classes were on Sunday, I'm like, okay, well, when I go camping, does everybody else want to come? And it was, like I said, it was totally trial and error. I charged like $10 for the first time. And I provided all the food and everything. And it was like, no, we have to charge a little bit more than that.
Yeah, I bet.
So it's been crazy. And last year we set the world record for the largest dog yoga class. We had 250 dogs in the class.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. So we just, we want to show people, our whole mission is to show people that they can do so many things with their dogs and to not leave them at home when they're out having fun because they want to have fun too.
Awesome. And so with that, you've created a community within your community, but you also have a community online, right? And so where you can can people outside of San Diego work with you currently?
Yeah, we have a group called Healthy Habits Group. It's an online Facebook group. And our whole goal is to keep people, I'm going to put him down.
Sure.
To keep people healthy, and to educate them on all the different things they can, do to stay healthy, like sleep and food and exercise. And so we try to give them motivating factors. And then Jack and I also did last year, we have people from all over the country that want to do what we do. So they contact us from all over and they want to start businesses like mine. So I help them get started. Well, obviously in San Diego, the weather is perfect just about 90% of the time. So we understand that it's not like that everywhere. So last year I bought an RV and Jack and I did a 10-week road trip around the country to 25 different states.
Awesome.
We taught fitness classes all over the country to show people that they give them ideas on what they could do, even on their dog walks. So we like to educate people like that as well. And then we came home and wrote a book about it. It's called Jack's Journey USA.
So cool.
Yeah. And so again, I mean, we hear it all the time. Oh, I never thought about doing that with my dog, and so we wanted to get out around the country and say, whether there's no bad weather, there's only bad clothes. And so we hiked in the rain, and we taught classes in the hot weather and the rain and all that kind of stuff. So there's where there's a will, there's a way.
Absolutely. And so obviously people, just what you're posting in the group and what I've heard the feedback in such a relatively short time, people are really interested in this as a business model. Are you licensing it, franchising it, or just showing them the way?
I'm showing them the way. I did not license or franchise it just because of that fact that we are, I like to give people unique ideas for their business. So what we do is we do a consult, and I talk with them to see what they're currently doing. And then I have a business manual that takes them from start to, like everywhere from naming your business, what you have to do that way. And then it gives them tons of ideas, because a lot of people don't know that they can monetize hikes. They can monetize all these different things. We even do a walking class for people just to add exercises with their dog during their dog walks. So, and also people don't realize that when you mentally stimulate the dog and add dog obedience in their walks or whatever they're doing, it tires them out so much faster. So we include dog obedience in everything that we do. And even though I'm not a dog trainer, we do the basics.
Well, it sounds like, you're a dog and people trainer almost.
Yeah. I'm not a certified dog trainer, but I've worked with so many. Yeah. And that's another thing we teach them, is how to work with other professionals, even outside the fitness business, so you can collaborate and get a whole new demographic in your business.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So for those watching me, obviously we have fitness professionals watching this. And I noticed that on your website, you do sell the manual and you have the consultation, so they can go over to your website, which is, and I have it on my screen right here, leashyourfitness.com to get that information.
Yeah.
So talk to me about the journey of writing your own manual. Because I know that's a question that people are going to ask me after this show. So I'm just curious on how that went for you.
Well, I have to say, I'm not one to sit behind the computer like most fitness people.
Yeah.
And what prompted that was so many people, I go to a lot of like dog events and that kind of stuff. So I went to a dog training event, and so many of the people were interested, and they were all contacting me, and I was doing consultations and I was giving them advice, and one by one they kept saying, do you have all this written down anywhere? And I'm like, no, because I kind of gear it toward each business, with what they're doing. I have everyone from dog trainers to people trainers to people that aren't even in the business. They just love dogs and fitness. So, in 2012, I actually had a really severe back injury, and I was pretty laid up for a while, and I took that opportunity to just do it. And I just sat down and I went from start to finish, and I showed it to my instructors. They gave me like, you forgot about this, you forgot about this. And so I just wrote it all down, and then I had someone edit it and make it look nice. And then basically that's it. And then, so what I do is I sell that, but then afterwards, after the person reads it and all that kind of stuff, then we sit down again and have another consult, and I answer questions. And like I said, get it so it fits into their business.
Fantastic. And are most of these people existing personal trainers, I would assume, that have either their own facilities or maybe working at somebody else's?
Actually, I get a lot of dog professionals contacting me.
Okay.
Which is tough because they have to be fitness certified.
Mm-hmm.
Or I tell them to work with somebody else, work with a fitness professional. But yes, I do have fitness professionals contact me as well. And there's ways that you can do this in their business. A lot of people don't want the dogs inside for obvious reasons, but
yeah.
And hair's the big one. And so I teach them how they can incorporate it outside, even if it's seasonal. Because I have people contacting me from Phoenix where obviously they can't do some of the stuff in the summer, mm-hmm. but they can do it in the winter. Or people, Michigan can do it more in the summer. So when there's a will, there's a way, and it's a great way to add income to your business.
Well, yeah, but not only that, I'm looking at this from a marketing perspective. So, for example, if I were to start doing this business, and I don't have, maybe only 3 or 4 of my clients have dogs. If I worked with a dog trainer, they already have that book of business sitting right there for me, and working in that with that synergy for them, it would also help them too.
Yeah.
What a great way for both businesses to grow together and help people.
Yeah. And I've met so many people. It's unbelievable. I mean, we're on the news so often that, because it's so unique.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing from a marketing perspective, it's so unique that people think I have a PR person, and I'm like, nope, they contact me. I've been on the Wall Street Journal, I've been CNN, Animal Planet, as well as every single news station in San Diego. As a matter of fact, I had a friend the other day say, I haven't seen you on the news in a while. And I said, oh, that's funny you say that. I'm going to be on the news tomorrow. So, they contact me about all the different things that we do.
Which is fantastic. Because I mean, I think so many people are dog lovers, and the dog lovers I know, will almost, statistically, I believe they'll spend as much money or more money than they will on their kids to make sure they have treats. I mean, that's a part of the family.
They'll spend more money on their dog than they will themselves.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have people that feed their dogs better than they feed themselves. And I'm like, why don't you just eat what you're making for your dog? Because they're cooking for their dogs, and then they're eating frozen dinners.
Yep.
So it's amazing. And if you watch, you'll see now there's more and more and more dog commercials, dog ads, like Subaru, REI. I mean, everybody is at, like, the Super Bowl. Look how many ads had dogs in them.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's a huge business right now.
Yeah. You and I talked a little bit about offline, and I was going to tell you I had a story, but I do business consulting as my main business, is consulting business owners from around the world. And so I'm obsessed with shows like Shark Tank and other business type shows. That's my version of watching the Kardashians, I guess.
Yeah.
But, there was a gentleman that was on there last time I watched an episode, and I recorded him, so I don't know the date, but he was an MIT grad who worked in the food industry, in the pet food industry, especially the mass produced. And he saw the drastic increase in cancer and other illnesses in dogs has gone up exponentially over the last few years alone, because of the way we process foods and such. And so anyway, he had a whole new nutritional program for meal delivery, which I thought was so interesting and ties in just with what you're saying as far as, putting the ingredients in for their dogs. People will pay for that rather than actually doing it just for themselves as well.
Yeah. My dog just got diagnosed with a brain tumor, and he's super healthy. The same day he got diagnosed with a brain tumor, his brother got diagnosed with a splenic tumor.
Oh.
It's 1 in 2 dogs now are getting
wow.
cancer. And so I've been doing a ton of research, and now my whole focus has kind of shifted, and I've been blogging like tons on all the research that I've been doing on cancer in dogs. And my whole thing is too, and people say this to us all the time, just because Jack has been diagnosed, we're still active and we're still out there doing stuff. We haven't stopped living. And that's what we want to do our next trip around the country about, is the canine cancer. And you have to be prepared for it, because it's not cheap. I've spent a lot of money on Jack and all the tests and stuff that he's had done. He had radiation therapy and everything. So you're right. I mean, and the food's huge. Food, the toxins, the chemicals, but then it also goes back to the people too.
Yeah.
What your dog has a much greater chance of getting it because of their sense of smell is 10 times greater than ours. But it's the same thing with people. We're surrounded by toxins and chemicals in the food that we're eating. So if we can educate people about the dogs, then it can translate hopefully over to what they're doing. It's even coming down to like the candles that you're burning. I mean, you can just go crazy with it all.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, one of the things that really struck me about your business model that I really loved is that, people will get out and get active themselves by walking their dogs and working with you, but they'll also get their dogs out walking and being active too, because oftentimes when you see an obese person, their pet tends to be obese as well.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And they start to tie in, and more often than not, people will walk their dog, sometimes begrudgingly, but they're not doing as much activities with them. And I think that,
I mean, when I got Jack, I didn't know any of my neighbors.
Yeah.
And after I got him, now I know all of my neighbors.
How cool.
I'm walking him all the time, and then you get to know, especially the ones with dogs, because they're out walking too.
Yep.
So it's really, really amazing. And it's showing this, owning a dog decreases your chance of depression because you're out and about instead of sitting at home all the time. You have to get out and walk your dog. unless you want all your stuff chewed up or your dog, acting up. Even Chihuahuas need walked. Yeah. So, and it also, with my business, the biggest thing is we get people that don't want to go to a gym. They would never go to a gym.
Yeah.
And they're intimidated by gyms, or they're intimidated by joining group activities. Their dog is the icebreaker. It's the one thing in our class that everybody has in common. And so when people come into our class with a dog, it's kind of like a kid. We don't go right to the person and say, hey, what's your name? Da, da, da. We're like, oh, look at your dog.
It's so true.
Yeah. It's such an icebreaker, and it really gets people there. And it keeps them there because their dog loves it.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is one of my instructors, she's 61. And when she first came to class, she was in our run group. We have a trail running group as well. And she couldn't keep up with everyone, but we never leave anybody behind. So we were waiting for her and everything. And, we kicked her butt. It was a good workout. So she was sore and everything the next day. And she wasn't going to come back, but her dog loved it. So she came back, and she kept coming back. And now she teaches for me.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And she's in her 60s. She went back to school and got her fitness certification. And she loved, and now it has completely changed her life. She was going through the whole menopause thing and gaining weight, and she's lost weight and got a whole new group of friends, and it completely changed her life. And we've seen that over and over and over again.
Well, it's so funny that you mentioned this because, again, being a fitness professional for almost 20 years, you always run into your friends and family that ask you questions, but you often hear, well, I don't want to go to a gym, or, for whatever reason, or they may not be social enough, or intimidation. This seems like such an easy gap, like you were saying, icebreaker, for example, where people can go in, not feel intimidated, and they can make it their story in their head it's not about me, it's about the dog. Yeah. And that kind of gives them a little bit of protection.
We see it all the time. We have people from 19 to 70 and take the same class. We incorporate dog obedience in everything we do. So we have seen a totally aggressive dogs completely turn around, and it's been, so a lot of people say that, they're not coming for their dog. I mean, they're for themselves. They're coming for their dog, even though they're overweight. Yeah. They don't exercise. They need it. So they're benefiting without them even knowing it.
Yeah, it's an interesting psychology there that we could talk about all day, I'm sure. I find that area very fascinating. Do you also see, so the aggressive dog becomes non-aggressive, but I'm sure you see the shifts in people as they're going through, because as they're training their dog and seeing the other dogs be trained, do you see these shifts happening within them as well?
Oh yeah, for sure. We've had people lose over 50 pounds, and just go from, now our run group has taken off like crazy. We've had people that could never run ever, and terrible posture, no core strength, and then we just, we've done Tough Mudders, we've done Spartan races, we've done Ragnar races. These girls, they're out of control. Like the first Ragnar race I did, I couldn't pay someone, any of us to do it. So once I did it, and they saw how much fun it was, we do them all now. Same with the Tough Mudder. Like there's one girl in my class that, I talked her into doing it as my partner, and she had so much fun, and now they're all wanting to do Spartan races and everything else. So, it's just really fun to see. And even though the dogs can't do those races, we do all the training together with them. And then we do a lot of the 5Ks, 10Ks, stuff like that the trail races that the dogs can do. And so it's really fun. I mean, it's really amazing to see. And also, like, even with our kayaking and our paddleboarding and stuff, we have people that come so they can bring their dog. And they would have never gone kayaking ever, but they just thought it sounded like fun. So they'd come, and now they own kayaks. They go out and buy kayaks, So it's just a way to get people out. We try to move our classes and our hikes and everything all over San Diego, so people get out of their little comfort zones and try new areas. And then they get there and like, wow, I didn't even know this area of San Diego existed.
Yeah.
So,
so for all the fitness professionals watching this now, and every week I get probably 4 to 10 emails or instant messages saying, market's too saturated where I live. You live in probably the most saturated fitness market in the world is San Diego. It's amazing. And you've come in and built your own niche and made a thriving business out of this. It's just so amazing to me that when I hear these excuses come up, that they're just limiting beliefs that people put in.
Well, in this business, there is no competition because really nobody else is doing it.
Yeah.
So there's nobody else doing what I do. There are starting to be little boot camp, little classes popping up here and there with you exercise with your dog.
Yeah.
But there's nobody doing what I do that incorporates all the different outdoor activities with your dog. And the sky's the limit. You can, if you live in a ski area, you can ski with your dogs, you can trail run, you can do so many different things. You can, if you live near water, we would love to have more lakes here because, we would love to do more paddle boarding and skiing and all that kind of stuff. Kayaking and stuff. I don't know about water skiing.
I was trying to imagine that when you said that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm open to it.
Although Jack has been on a boat. My dog's been in 34 states.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so he's very well traveled.
Well,
and
yeah.
That's another thing. Like, that's one of the reasons we wrote the book, because people are like, oh, I never thought about taking my dog on vacation. Yeah. I don't think about not taking him. Like, I drive everywhere. That's why he's been in 34 states.
Sure.
I don't fly anymore because I want him to go with me. So went out and bought an RV, and
he's part of the family. He is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And that's what I'm saying, Don. Again, I'm going to bring this up just one more time because I hear it so often and it drives me nuts that people talk about being in a saturated market or not being. There's going to be a niche for everybody. And what you've basically did is said, hey, I'm going to do me. I'm going to do Don. And people, instead of being fake or, doing the posturing and the typical things we see in the industry, especially after people have just started, you've just been yourself, and people are attracted to that naturally. And by doing that, you've found your own tribe.
Yeah, I just basically say, I want to do this. Do you guys want to come? And, and then of course, I charge for it because it's always more work. And especially, you have to, the one thing about this business is you have to, be well-versed in dogs, and you have to not be nervous around, because you get every kind of dog.
Yeah.
You get Chihuahuas to Great Danes to Pit Bulls to Golden Retrievers, everything. So, and not only on that, you get every kind of person. So it's not like you're getting the athletes or whatever. Like I said, we have 19 to 70. So you have that mixture of, and then sometimes you have a dog that has way more energy than the person. So then you have to deal with that. So, so that's the kind of the stuff that I've learned as I went. And
Sure.
That's one of the reasons we did the dog yoga class, is because we wanted to prove to people that your dog does read your energy. We had 250 dogs in this class, and it was like a church service. There was not a peep the entire class. We had every news channel there, and nobody could believe it.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So we teach people dog yoga too, because I've been to so many classes that it's just total chaos. There's dogs running around and barking, and I'm like, this is not yoga class. So if we teach people, if they do it the right way, it's very smooth. And we don't pick our dogs up and use them as props. It's basically the effect that your dog reads your energy. It's just one more thing that you can do with your dog.
And this is from a business standpoint, this is the perfect scenario that you make it look easy. Therefore, I know that it's not easy, that you've done trial and error. And that's why you've made a book, because you've systematized a lot of these things. Yeah. Whenever I see a business owner make something look easy, that's how I know they're a professional, and I know it's not easy for everybody else to do.
Yeah, that's what I had a couple dog trainers fly down from Washington they were interested in my business, and they bought the manual and stuff, and they went and got certified to be group fitness instructors, although they were dog trainers. And so they came to the class. The first class they watched, and then the second class I said, you're taking this next class. And they were like, wow, there's a lot more to this than we thought there was going to be. Like, yeah, you have to, know, that's why when people contact me, I'm like, either you're going to have a fitness professional teach the class, or you have to be versed in it, because, you're going to have people with injuries, and, when you're in the fitness industry, you have so many things to work around. So you have to know what you're doing. And insurance is the big one. Fitness insurance doesn't cover it. So you have to have business insurance.
Sure. So interesting. So as a business owner, I've had, liability insurance, business insurance, workers' comp. Is there a specific insurance that you get just to work with the dogs outside?
Yeah, it was not easy to find. So
I
you
bet.
have to have I had to get a special policy that they know about the dogs. Because when I first started, I was just going to, use my fitness insurance. And then someone said, if they find out there's dogs in the class, they might not cover it. And they
Yeah.
were right. So that's been a big one. But
Always
yeah,
good. Always good to have great advisors and helpful professionals around, right? To
I
ask those kind of
know,
questions.
exactly. And again, it's just been all trial and error, on what to do. And that's why I basically wrote the book or the manual to just, people don't think about that stuff. And so that's why I like to do the consultation first. I like to really be upfront with people. Like, are you going to be prepared for this? Because don't invest all your money in a business if you don't want to deal with all this stuff.
Sure. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
As I think about it, so when you're going through the business, what would you say are 1 to 2 of your biggest wow moments that you, besides the insurance, that you didn't think would happen with this business or didn't think would occur?
Well, the permitting, like to get into parks and stuff like that, that's a big one too, because some parks don't allow dogs,
Yeah.
and then like some businesses don't allow dogs inside. And we did my classes in my boyfriend's garage in the winter one year, and the hair was a big one. Like, you don't think about it when you're outside, but when you're in a garage and at the end of class, you're like, oh my God, it's like a carpet.
Did you buy him one of those nice big Dyson vacuums that we
Yeah,
always see
really,
advertised?
really. So, it's that kind of stuff you have to think about. It's, most dogs aren't going to go to the bathroom inside,
Yeah.
but that's kind of the stuff. And the same thing, like when I first started the classes, I didn't know where I was going to have them, and I thought, well, I'm going to have them at parks that are next to an off-leash dog park, because that way I have an audience and they'll all come over and want to take the classes. No, the people that go to off-leash dog parks don't want to exercise. They want to stand there and talk and throw the ball. The people that you want in the business are the people out walking their dogs.
Gotcha.
Those are the people that need additional exercise besides just walking their dogs. So that was a big one, because I was going out of my way to find parks next to off-leash dog parks. And then I realized they don't want to exercise. Most of them. Some of them want to just exercise their dog and then they go to the gym.
Yeah.
It's the people that want to be outside and doing that kind of stuff. Those are the people you want to market to. So our biggest thing is we go to dog-friendly 5Ks.
Ooh.
And we do a lot of marketing there. And we usually do the warm-ups for the 5Ks and that kind of stuff.
Very smart. I love it. Yeah. There's so many things I like about your business and what you're doing. It's fascinating. So those are a couple of the wow factors. If someone's watching this right now and they're thinking, hey, this might be something I'm interested, what are a couple of things that they should think about or consider, ask themselves, I should say, before reaching out to you to know if this is a good fit potentially for them?
The first thing is, do they like dogs? Because some people are like, well, I have a dog. I love my dog. Yeah, but do you love other people's dogs? It's kind of like, you might love your baby, but you might not be like a baby person,
Mm-hmm.
So that you have to be very, very comfortable around dogs. And you have to be willing to learn, because what I did was I had dog trainers come, and it used to be, we started having them come every week. And then it went down to every month, and then every 3 months. And that was a great way to cross promote, because that way they got more business, a lot more business, because we had them come and only work with what we needed our dog to do in our class. So sit down, stay, not bark at other dogs around that, that come back around and that kind of stuff. So if you're willing to work with other people like that, and now I feel, I've been doing it for 7 years now. So I feel super confident around the dogs, and I know enough now to know what needs to be done or to refer them out,
Okay.
To professional dog trainer.
That's fantastic. Well, Dawn, you've been so gracious with your time. I know how busy you are, and Jack, also thank him for us for letting take your time as well. For those of you that want to reach out, what's the best way for people to get in contact with you?
They can email me. It's Dawn, DAWN, at Leash, like a dog leash, because everyone thinks it should be Unleash Your Fitness. But the reason we named it Leash Your Fitness is because we wanted to promote the fact that the dogs are on leash during the class.
Very smart.
Leash up your workout partner and go exercise. So it's Leash Your Fitness. And then, of course, I'm on Facebook. We post everything on Facebook and Instagram.
And then
I'm trying to get better at the videos on YouTube.
aren't we all? I run a marketing agency, and I'm good at doing it for other people, but doing it your own is tough sometimes.
And
so,
and I am working on some online programs as well.
oh,
to
great.
help.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so if people also, if you're watching this, which we'll post in the training room, because you are a member of the training room as well as a professional, they can maybe post questions for you, and we'll go ahead and answer those as well.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Get those in there. Well,
Yeah,
again, Don.
I like to help people, and I mean, to me, this is a whole new demographic for people. And what I also do is the businesses around here, I'll go there. Like Adam Wright, he has a business up in like Orange County, and I'll drive up there and teach a class for his people. So, what we figure out the logistics and when we're going to have it and stuff. He has a park up there. So I'll drive up there and teach a class, and his people love it. And not just one example. So if you have any listeners in this area, but I know you're in Santa Barbara, right?
I just opened a new office in Bend, Oregon. So we have an office in Santa Barbara.
I saw you were in the snow. I'm like, where is he?
Yeah. So it's new for me. I'm from Orange County, moved to Santa Barbara, and I thought that was cold. So this is a new environment for me. My wife's from New England, so it's old hat for her.
I love Bend, Oregon.
It's beautiful here.
Yeah. I love it there.
Excellent. Well, also, I'm going to guess have RV will travel if somebody's willing to put you up in an amazing location, maybe Hawaii or any other place that you want to go.
We're going to go. Last year we drove all the way up to Maine. And so we took the southern route. We went up to Maine and then back through Michigan. They can read all about it in the book if they want, Jack's Journey USA, and all the things that we did. So it's kind of like a story of that book's Jack and I's story, but it also teaches people where they can go with their dogs because But now we want to go up north where you are, because I have a lot of friends up in Oregon and Washington. Jack's never been to North or South Dakota yet, in Minnesota and Wisconsin. So next year we might go up that way.
All right.
And what we did is we stopped and taught classes along the way. So if you have listeners that want us to stop, and we can, coordinate our efforts, and it's a great way to get media on your business,
I bet. Absolutely. So if anybody's listening in those areas, go ahead and reach out to Dawn, and you guys can connect.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Absolutely. Well, again, thank you again for your time. And I'd love to have you again for a follow-up as we talked about offline, because I know there's just so much that you can share with fitness professionals around the world. So thank you again.
Thanks a lot. Have a great day.
You too, Dawn.